Thank you so very much for joining us on this very important call. First, let me begin by saying that I heard about this product from a childhood friend of mine of over 50 years. We were having a conversation, and he began to tell me about a product that he's been using for 2 years that really piqued my interest, and I wanted to learn more. So I said, what does this product do? And he said, it cleans your blood and gets rid of zombie cells. Do you know what that is? And I said, no, I don't really know. What are zombie cells? He said, well, zombie cells are those cells in your body that are damaged, and they affect healthy cells, and over time, they're kind of the root cause of many ailments and most diseases, but your body can't dispel them. And I was very, very intrigued, so I asked how he heard about it, who his sponsors were, and he told me they were at the tip top of the company as far as rank and income were concerned, so I immediately wanted to meet them. And let me tell you what I discovered. When I had a conversation with a very sharp young lady you're going to hear from momentarily, and I found out how all of this got started. So let me just paint a picture with what I learned as briefly and concise as I can. That many, many years ago, there was a science team commissioned to discover the cause of aging. This science team began to treat the super rich, the rich and famous, the super privileged, the elite 1%. So all of a sudden, dignitaries and celebrities and people of prominence began to fly in to this science team, and they were literally treating them, and the results were miraculous. They were really helping people overcome with the ailments they were. And folks, I'm talking about ailments that are like serious ailments. Everything from gout to asthma, allergies, diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, liver situations, liver conditions, kidney conditions, arthritis, cognitive issues like dementia or Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, blood flow conditions preventing like strokes and heart blood. It was amazing what was taking place. So right about that time, there was an American that was a sharp businessman, and he saw what was taking place and said, I was wondering if I could take this back to the States and put it in the structure that would take this product directly to the end user. And the answer was no. So we asked, well, can I at least supply it to doctors and chiropractors to be able to provide it to their patients? The answer was yes. For many, many years, for a long time, that's how this product was dispersed, only to doctors and only to chiropractors to give to their patients. During that time, there was a wealthy billionaire that had experienced some of this miraculous treatment, and he owned a resort. So that science team moved here to the States in Texas and began to continue to treat the super wealthy, the rich and famous, the elite, and the results were absolutely staggering, folks, staggering what was happening. So right about that time, that businessman that was providing this to doctors and to chiropractors who were experiencing all of this success with this, he got with some other partners and partnered with the scientists, and they created a company. Now, this company has been around for 5 years. There's approximately 45,000 people in this company. So I'm hearing about this. I'm like, wow. So I'm talking to this young lady that you're going to hear about later. I said, tell me a little bit about this product, the flagship product. And she tells me that it's the healthiest plants in the world, all over the planet. And they've taken these plants, and the science and the technology has reduced the essence of these plants down to a molecule so small they're able to apply it in a spray. This spray is then applied under the tongue a few times per day, and from that it's getting into the bloodstream. It's having a positive effect on these cells, allowing them to produce younger cells. And folks, let me tell you something. This is absolutely staggering what we're talking about, and it's hard for me to even articulate what's taking place. You see, every 90 days, your body completely replaces the red blood cells, folks. But when they replace the red blood cells, if you're 50 years old, it's replacing them with 50-year-old blood cells. But because of this product, it's able to produce a superior replication of blood cells that actually has a longer DNA, a telomere, so you're actually producing younger cells. Folks, this is what's happening that's creating people to have miraculous, life-changing, staggering result from this particular product. So as I'm hearing about this as a networker, as a businessman, I'm thinking, okay, great. So I start asking questions about the platform itself, to see if this is a viable something to be able to share with other people, something I really want to get involved with. So after speaking to this young lady, I spoke to her son. Now, her and her son at the tip top of this company in income, the tip top of this company in rank. And so I began to ask questions like, okay, so tell me, how many products do you have? And I learned there are 4 signature products, not 44, not 404, 4 signature products. I like the sound of that. So I said, well, how many packages do you have, and what are the costs for that? There's a $2.99 package and a $5.98 package, and that's it. I like the sound of that. So tell me, what is the monthly auto ship? What is the monthly cost? He said was as low as $49. I'm thinking, I like the sound of that. That sounds good as well. So now I begin to dig a little bit deeper. The young lady that I want to introduce to you, her name is Kara Posset. She's got a 50-year track record in this particular field of study. And she's going to be sharing with you not what she knows from an education standpoint, not just simply that, but she's going to be able to explain to you what she's learned and experienced from actually using the product itself. Folks, you have to hear this. So please allow me to welcome to this call Ms. Kara Posset. Kara, if you would, can you give us just a brief snapshot about your background and then kind of share with us your experience with this incredible product, the science behind it, and just kind of share your heart with these exclusive leaders, if you don't mind.
Absolutely, Dr. James. Thank you so much. I've been in natural healing and energy medicine for more than 50 years and have a big following. I've written books, all that. But 4 years ago, I was listening to a brilliant quantum physicist who said, I don't care what's going on in your body. If your blood is dirty and your circulation is blocked up, you can't get better. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he's absolutely right. That is so true. But what can clean your blood? What can unblock your circulation? And he went on to say that he was head of this science team that had been together for 50 years and that they had been given the problem to solve of what's the cause of aging, what's the cure for all disease, and it had to be 100% plants. And they assembled a huge team, and they studied the people that were, over 100 years old and what they were eating and all of the plants. But this team was able to do something nobody else has ever done. They've gone into the actual quantum structure of the plants. Most plants have like 1,000 different types of molecules, and they were able to locate and remove and study every single molecule. So most plants have like 1,000 different types of molecules, and they studied 44 of the most powerful plants on the planet. And this was almost a 30-year study, because 150 million variables, and how this molecule reacts with that molecule, and on and on. And they tested it on 300,000 patients in Europe through medical doctors. Everybody got better. And 50% of them had stage 3 and 4 diseases. The other 50% were elite athletes, actors, and very wealthy people. And it was the son-in-law of the head of the science team brought it to the United States a little more than 4 years ago. I was lucky enough to hear about this when it was only 3 months old. And I thought, man, I've never heard of anything that can clean the blood and open the circulation. And that's what they were saying. So I ordered enough for my entire family, and we began using it. I was in a wheelchair because I'd had a car accident and bone on bone in my hips, and I was refusing to have hip surgery or back surgery. And within 2 months of using this spray, 4 sprays under my tongue, morning, afternoon, and evening, I could walk with no pain. And that was because it opened up my circulation and microcirculation, so inflammation went away. I mean, I was absolutely shocked. My husband had been diabetic for 40 years. He was on insulin, and when he started it, by day 5, he had to cut back on insulin by 60%. And by the end of 4 months, he was off insulin. His pancreas was working. He was 80 years old. He had also been in atrial fibrillation with his heart for 10 years and in and out of congestive heart failure, and his cardiologist had said, he'll never get better, it'll only get worse. And by the end of 4 months, he had not had any episodes at all. And we went to the cardiologist, and they recorded his heart, normal sinus rhythm for the first time in 10 years. So I wrote a newsletter to all of my followers going, oh my gosh, you've got to hear about this. This is the best. But let me just tell you what happens. When you spray this under your tongue, the body responds. This is 100% plant molecules, from God's garden. Nothing else added. And the body responds by going, opening the circulation and the microcirculation so inflammation can go away. And then it begins nourishing the body back to health so that this is a quantum physics part. If you put high-frequency molecules like this spray into a closed system like the circulatory system, all the low-frequency stuff in the blood raises up in frequency, transmutes. Things like virus, bacteria, fungus, mold, chemicals, pesticides, glyphosates, heavy metals, radiation, chemtrails, spike protein, plastic particles. God knows what else. Stuff that shouldn't be in our blood. Raises it up in frequency, also in pH, so that the body can deal with it and not be hurt and get rid of it naturally, gently. The other thing that it does is it boosts our immune system. Dr. James mentioned the word zombie cells. Zombie cells are cells that don't die, but they're damaged and they don't work, but they take our nutrients and then they secrete toxins, which make more zombie cells. Well, our depressed immune systems from all the toxins in our air, food, and water, most people's immune systems can't even find the damaged and diseased cells. But this lifts the immune system up to give it vision so it can locate and destroy the fast-aging, the damaged, the diseased zombie cells and get rid of them. And one other thing that this does that nobody's ever done before, this stimulates our own stem cells. By the time you're 30, you're about 50% of them are gone. By the time you're 60, there's probably none left. I'm 76. I've got massive amounts, and what's happening is when my body gets rid of aging and damaged and diseased cells, and instead of duplicating my 76-year-old cells with shorter telomeres, my body's bringing in brand new baby, young stem cells with very long telomeres, which indicate long life. So that's what it does. And for me, I've been using this over a little bit more than 4 years now. And I am so much younger. People that haven't seen me in 4 years don't even recognize me. I'm 50 pounds lighter. My skin glows and the wrinkles are gone. My blood work, by the way, is perfect. It's never been perfect in all my years in natural healing. And it's totally perfect, but the really big deal, now 4 months is a complete upgrade in your blood. That's your life force. That's why I said 4 months, because that's when major things have happened. But they say if you do this consistently for 3 years, you'll have a whole new body. I have a whole new body. And 4 months ago, I had a weird thing happen. I woke up in the morning and I had this huge bruise on my foot. I did not hurt myself in bed. I don't know what happened. And a friend of mine looked at it and said, oh, my God, you need to go to get a vascular sonogram because that could be a blood clot. So I did. And when the woman went in on my groin, the first words out of her mouth were, oh, my God. And I'm going, what's wrong? She says, you have the cleanest, most open lymph system I've ever seen. I'm going, well, that's good. Up and down in my veins. She says, how old are you again? I told her. She said, I get 30-year-olds that don't have as healthy-looking veins. And then she went up and down on my arteries, and she said, girl, we're going to talk. She says, I've been doing this for 23 years, and I have never seen anybody older than 13 with no plaque in their arteries. And I'll tell you, that shocked me because at 60, I had high blood pressure, shortness of breath, heart arrhythmias. I was in and out of the cardiologist every other month. Both my parents died of heart attacks at age 72. Here I am at 76 with no plaque in my arteries. And I've got thousands of people using this, and I'm seeing reversals in things I have never, ever seen before. Physical, mental, and emotional. Because when you can open your circulation, clean the blood, boost the immune system, stimulate stem cell production, everything gets better. Everything. So that's pretty much my story, and I could tell you stories for hours on the other things that have happened.
Thank you so very much, Kara. Just to hear what you are experiencing is absolutely staggering. But I want to ask each and every one of you that are joining us or hearing this right now, I just want to have an honest, upfront, crystal clear conversation with you. I want to ask you a question. Do you or anyone you know have diabetes? Do you or anyone you know have high cholesterol or high blood pressure? I mean, I'm asking. Do you or anyone you know have diabetes? Because I have been diagnosed with type 2, and I'm interested in helping people like myself that have it. Do you, anybody you know, have gout, asthma, allergies, liver conditions, kidney conditions? How about a loved one that you may know that's got some sort of dementia, Alzheimer, or I'm saying that imagine knowing right now that what used to be held exclusive for the super privileged, the 1%, imagine right now that's available to the general public, because it is. I want you to imagine right now a delivery system, folks, that's not a pill, something that gets into your body faster than an IV that you just spray on your tongue. Imagine a simple daily routine that can produce measurable results that you can't deny. Imagine that it's affordable for every community, your community, my community, his community, her community, their community. Imagine that you don't have to go to a clinic or a doctor or a pharmacy. Imagine if this was delivered to you. Imagine if you and the people you know and care about could experience this and you didn't have to keep it a secret. Folks, I want to just kind of make sure that we put all of this in perspective. We're not only looking to help people that have a condition, that need help with what they're experiencing, or know other people that need help. We want to do that. That goes without saying. But we want to teach you and your loved ones to play a healthy form of defense, to defend against getting any of those things in the first place. Can you imagine having that in a spray you carry in your purse or keep in your car, or a little bit when you wake up in the morning before a meal, before you go to bed? Can you imagine just something so simple as a spray under your tongue? Well, listen carefully. They also have another product that is a cream. Now, this cream was created for third-degree burn victims because it literally regrows skin. You heard me right, regrows skin. Now, to prove this, folks, listen carefully. If you apply this cream on the back of your hand, and then you take a picture of your hand, Keep doing that, and by day 4, take another picture. Day 7, take another picture. It's evidence right there in front of you. This cream is so pure, so natural, just plants that are there to help alleviate wrinkles, fine lines, skin blemishes, you name it, acne, you name it. In addition to that, it's so pure you could put it on a cracker and eat it. That's right. And it will be a probiotic to help you with digestive. Folks, I've never seen technology, never heard of plants being utilized like this. Folks, it's time for us to play some healthy defense. Not now, but right now. It's time for us to play healthy defense now. The reason you're on this call is we're about to embark on an incredible movement to reach your community, my community. We're going to take health secrets that were once kept from common folks, and we're going to be able to provide that to people that need it and be able to play some healthy defense right now. I want you to contact the person that invited you. Let them know that you're in. Folks, we're putting together an infrastructure right now that if you can point, if you can whisper, if you can write a note, if you can send a text, if you could tell a friend, and I'm telling you, the message that you're giving somebody could impact their life beyond measure. I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to how we can impact what's really going on with our health out here, folks. And it's not a joke. I know people that I care about a great deal that are no longer here. I know people right now that are dealing with situations that are, well, tough to deal with. I know people right now that haven't been diagnosed yet. And we have a chance for them to play some healthy defense now. And that diagnosis may never come. Thank you so much for chiming in. Get back to the person that told you about this, and think long and hard about the impact that you want to make, not just for yourself, but for the lives that you really care about. Thank you. God bless you, and goodbye for now.